Welcome to Wrestling with Fitness, a monthly accountability podcast collaboration of the For Frequency's Sake Podcast Network and Shotgun Wrestling Radio. Here are your hosts, Shotgun Wrestling Radio's Zach Takis and the Wizard CZ from the card, Subject to Change.
Hello, that is right. We are back with another episode of Wrestling with Fitness. Want to thank our host network, the For Frequency's Sake Podcast Network, for putting us on the air and putting up with us here. And of course, they are sponsored by Durham Remodeling. Have to get that out so that I don't get in trouble by DJ. But no, we are back, and this is the last episode of the year for us, Zach. We won't be back till January. But how you doing, my friend?
Not bad, man. Somehow the holiday and the end of the year snuck up on us.
I know, right? It feels like the first episode was just yesterday.
Yeah. Yep. You know, and it's like we were talking. We weren't going to do it. We were going to try to do something next week, and then I'll be traveling Wednesday when we normally would. I was like, well, let's go up a week early, and it's like, oh shit, we have a show this week,
right?
But yeah, this year, man, it just absolutely flew by for us. It feels like, and yeah, it just flew by, man.
It did, and I'm excited for this episode because we've got a great guest in the studio with us. He is a DDPY enthusiast. He's been very encouraging with me, very grateful for him keeping tabs on me, and he is the diamond standard of color commentary. Let's welcome into the studio Dr. Heywood. Doc, how you feeling today, my friend?
It's a great day to be alive. I'm feeling fantastic. Really honored to be here on the Wrestling with Fitness podcast. This is very exciting for me. I don't get the opportunity to talk about DDPY and my fitness journey that often, so I'm excited for that.
Well, everybody wants to hear about your wrestling stories, which we'll get to. But yeah, I'm excited to hear where your fitness journey started and why DDP yoga, why DDPY?
Yeah, for sure. So my fitness journey, it started in 2018. My wife at the time came up to me and said, "Hey, we're done," and it kind of rocked my world. And I was kind of just shattered back down to my foundations. And one of the things I came back to while I was rebuilding myself was pro wrestling. The Undertaker was doing his first retirement at the time, and I had heard about that. Hadn't watched since Shawn Michaels retired, because I was like, he was kind of the last guy I was really into. And so I come back to pro wrestling, and watching pro wrestling starts getting all the good stuff on my YouTube algorithm. And I'm getting these stories, and I see Jake the Snake on Joe Rogan. And the last time I saw Jake the Snake was on a dirt sheet feed, and he was drunk and stoned out of his mind, and it was just really sad. And Jake the Snake was always special to me because he looked just like my dad. And my dad had a lot of the problems that Jake did, and so there was a lot of similarities in them. So seeing Jake get cleaned up, like I marked out for it. I was like, all right, this guy's finally what happened. And so I went and watched the whole Joe Rogan podcast, and he's talking about how Diamond Dallas Page saved his life with DDP yoga. And so I found the episode with DDP on, and DDP's talking about it and how natural it is. Just, you look at animals, and what do they do first thing when they wake up from a nap? They stretch. And it's like, oh, ding, something went off in my head. And I'm going through a divorce. I've got a couple kids. I'm trying to maintain this house that I had just bought like a year before, and I lose the house. So me and my kids are back in this stinky condo, and then COVID hits, and I get laid off from my job. I still haven't taken the plunge to do DDPY yet. I've been on a roller coaster of weight because of depression. I when I was going through divorce, I started eating just one meal a day to prayerfully fast through this, because I'm a Christian, and I believe fasting has some power in it, not just physically but also spiritually. So I go into this fasting mode, drop a ton of weight. The divorce happens. Well, screw it's done now. Little Caesars for dinner, guys, because it's easy. I just can't put the effort into cooking because I'm rebuilding myself as a person, and so I balloon up again to about 220, 225, which isn't the worst I'd ever been at. And so COVID, I lose my job, everything's locked down. Can't go to the gym, can't go to church. I can go to Walmart, I can go to the strip club. Those don't seem very healthy to me. So what's my other alternative? Oh, DDP was talking about this thing, and I look on Facebook, and he's offering free workouts on his Facebook during the lockdown. And so I do one, and I was able to do it. I had to modify. He leads you through the modifications, but I was like, hey, I can do this. The last unemployment check. Like, all right, I'm gonna take the plunge, and I sign up for a year with my last unemployment check. And I start doing DDPY, and I start seeing the results. I'm living off my savings now. I'm starting to get really stressed out, but I'm taking the pictures. I'm changing my meal habits, and as bad as things are getting in the outside world, I'm actually dealing with it a lot better, because I feel better. I've gone through these huge losses in my life, but I'm starting to see the little victories. Oh, the belly isn't protruding as much. I wake up in the morning feeling a lot more refreshed and energetic. Oh, I can friggin' do push-ups. That was like at DDPY, we call them non-scale victories, and being able to do push-ups was a huge one for me. I remembered back to, I was like maybe 7, taking a taekwondo class, and the sensei making fun of me because I couldn't do push-ups. He was like, hey, Heywood, would you rather be having a milkshake? I'm 7. Yeah, of course I'd rather be having a milkshake what are you, stupid or something? Come on now. What kind of question is that? And then of course all the other kids laugh. So being able to do a push-up was like a huge thing for me. And while I'm kind of having this transformation, and the world's in lockdown, um, I my dad, who I spoke about, uh, passed away. He was like I said, he had a lot of the problems Jake the Snake had. And one of the things that contributed to his problem was his folks kind of set him up for life. He didn't have access to money, but he never had to work, which was good enough for him. But what he had came to me, and now all of a sudden I don't have to worry about rent. I inherited a house. I don't have to worry about clocking into a 9 to 5 job anymore. I have a passive stream of income now. Like I said, I'm a man of faith, and I feel obligated when you receive, you got to give back. And so I'm trying to think, what can I do with what I've just been handed? I've been handed uh, money, I've been handed freedom, and I've been handed health. Well, the first thing I decided to do is go to Mexico for a TDPY retreat, because the world's starting to open back up again. And I was like, I could go work out with DDP. And it on the way there, I'm just kind of reflecting on everything. I work out with DDP, spend 4 days in Mexico with great people, meet his fiance at the time, his wife now, Paige, who's just an amazing person. So beautiful inside and out until you work out with her. And then if you ever saw the duet Diamond Dallas Page did with the cartoon cricket from Space Ghost, Zorak, I swear that cricket lives inside Paige. She's got an evil praying mantis living inside of her when she makes you work out. She's really, really evil. In fact, I led one of our wrestlers, 6'4", down to close to 350 now, Sin, through a workout with Paige McMahon Page. Her maiden name is McMahon, which is just hilarious. And so now she's Paige McMahon Page. I led this guy through a workout with her, and when he was done, he cut a promo on her that curled my toes. He wants to fight this 50-year-old woman with a fiery passion because of the pain that she put him through in this workout. That's how mean she is. But I go down there and I get to hang out with Dallas for a while, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? When I get back, I can get involved with PCW, the local promotion. I'd seen their stuff when I was in their 20s. I had got roped into working the hard cam for them at one of their shows because I took a class with one of the old producers of the YouTube show. And so I was like, I can come back and I can help local pro wrestling. At the very least, I can lead these guys through DDPY so that they can have a longer career. Because I've seen the effects it's had in my life. Diamond Dallas Page, the guy is a 3-time WCW champion. He's a Hall of Famer, broke his back, came back in the ring. He knows what he's talking about. When a wrestler, except for Ric Flair, pushes me on like a health product, I'm gonna listen. Like if it's like, hey man, this massager works great on my back, I'm gonna buy that massager because I know what this guy puts himself through. So I want to come back and give back, and at the very least show these guys DDPY. And that was kind of my foot in the door to wrestling. And how just taking that plunge into DDPY it really changed my life. Having the freedom to work with PCW the way I do was also a huge thing, but I wouldn't have been in the mental place to receive that gift if it wasn't for DDPY, especially during the lockdown when the whole world was going crazy.
Yeah, not only going crazy, but going crazy doing nothing.
Yeah. And I've always been kind of a sedentary guy. As you can see behind me, I got a lot of comic books. I'm a big nerd. I like to draw. I like to watch Star Trek and Star Wars. If given the opportunity, I'll sit on the couch all day, watch old wrestling and science fiction and comic book movies. That's a great day for me. But at the same time, I had to realize that was as bad for me as smoking. And to a degree, my body at nearly 50, I'm like, what is it, 15 months from 50. So I'm just basically 50 for the next year and 3 months. I still feel the effects of being sedentary for just 10 years, from like the time I was 20 to 30, just sitting around doing nothing, playing video games, drawing. Wrecked my hip, wrecked my knees. Definitely, not going to be pushing to get in the ring anytime soon for anything protracted, although there are a lot of wrestlers who want to get their hands on me, that is for sure.
No, that's fantastic. I love that story, and I love hearing everybody's journey. I know for me, I'm not as close to 50 as you are, but I'm getting there. And I have always been sedentary, with little exception. About a decade ago, I was between jobs, so not access to a lot of garbage food, and nothing to do. I was on unemployment for 6 months, so I would walk, and I would eat eggs and spinach, maybe a little cheese in there. But I would walk for like 4 miles between two towns here in our area, and then I got a new job, and that just kind of stopped. For a while I was walking around the building at the place I worked, but that sedentary lifestyle, that's what sucks for me. It just kind of it sucks you back in, and it's hard for me personally to avoid that, to keep my mindset uh, in a place where I'm not just sitting on my butt all day. And it's even harder because I work a sedentary job. I work from home, and I sit in front of a computer on a phone all day, setting people up for the service that I peddle. So that's, yeah, it's especially the last month or two has been a real struggle, because I just want to reset back to that, do nothing, watch wrestling, play a few video games, maybe read a book or two, lying in bed, sitting wherever. It sucks. It's hard.
Well, especially for us, Chris, it gets harder in the winter months because it's dark at 5 p.m. Who wants to leave? It's one of those things where if you don't, and I was thinking about this on my drive home tonight from the gym, if you don't set a routine and stick to it, you're not gonna succeed. A routine when it comes to your workout lifestyle is very, very important, at least for me. I mean, you need to go the same time. You need to say pick 3 or 4 days a week, and you're going at the same time every day, or at the same time on all of those days. So like for me, for example, I go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. A lot of times I'll go Sunday mornings, but I've been kind of not doing those lately. I'll do usually a treadmill walk in the afternoon at home here because we have a treadmill at home. But like Mondays and Wednesdays, I go right after work. So it's like I know in my mind, right after work, right at 5 o'clock hits, I'm in the car going to work, and I get it for a lot of people. When it hits 5 and it's dark, last thing what do you want to do is leave your damn house. So I get it, especially when you look outside. It's like, oh, it's 9 o'clock. Wait, it's only 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm looking outside and I'm ready to go to bed. It's been dark for about 2 hours, and that drives me nuts. I can't.
I think Sunday Sunday's the day that I take off from working out, and I don't know what happened, but it was like 5:30 and it felt like midnight. It was
Uh-huh.
just pitch black outside, and I was like, can I go to bed now? And my lady Heywood looks at me and she's like, dude, it's 5:30. Come on, can you not hang for like 4.5 more hours? And I'm like, no, I want to take a nap.
So
And I did the clouds and the rains do it to me every year. Like this is kind of the first year where, because I'm coaching someone through DDPY, I'm not kind of taking in an extended period off, because I have Sin coming to my house in the morning uh, to do DDPY with me, and so having that partner is really really helpful for me right now. I'm still in a slump because during the summer I was hitting 3 workouts a day. I would do my workout with Sin, then I would go do another 30-40 minutes of cardio or weight training at the gym, and then after dinner I was doing a 30-minute walk with my dog around the neighborhood, so I was just burning calories like crazy. And now it's like, oh, time to be a chunky little monkey.
I mean, they call it seasonal depression for a reason. It's easy to get sucked into. Oh, I don't want to go anywhere. But yeah, it's definitely it has to be a mind over matter type mentality too. Like Things that I was thinking about it on the way home tonight. I was like, normally, like this time last year, I kind of started plateauing pretty good as far as going to the gym, where I was just like, F it. I didn't want to do it. And I'm looking at myself this year, and like I'm already doing way better this year at keeping on track than I ever did last year. So like for that, for me, that's a win, because I'm like, I've been doing really, really well lately with my 3 workouts a week being Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And the Friday one last week was tough because I switched those up to 5 a.m. in the morning. And for some reason, I was like, the alarm went off, and I was just about went, but I still rolled out of bed. And I might not have had the greatest workout in the world, but I still did it. It was
You showed up, and that
Yeah.
is the greatest workout in the world, man. Is especially because you didn't want to, and
Yeah.
so that was like the 90% of the game was that mental workout right there. Is just getting to the gym.
Yep. Yeah. Well, they always say, and I try to tell people too, the hardest part is getting there and getting through the door. That's the hardest part.
There have been days where I could get there and I would look at the parking lot full of cars and just be like, yeah, I don't want to deal with people, and I'd drive off. And I hate myself every time I did it, but I've been there. I've definitely been there.
There's always an excuse of why not to go to the gym. I got too much on my plate. Oh, I forgot my headphones. I've done that before, where it's like, oh, can't go to the gym. Don't have my headphones. But now I live like literally like 2 seconds from the gym, so it's like, okay, I can't do that anymore. But the key is finding that one reason that can override all of those excuses. Some days for me, it's just out of pure spite for the other guys in the locker room, where I can say, hey, you know what? The commentary guy is out working the prospects champion. All pro Reno, you missed the gym this week. What's up, man?
As a fellow commentator myself, I appreciate that mindset.
Yeah, I mean, I got a meme that I'll share with them. Don't get outworked by the commentary guy. I'm the pace car. If you aren't working as hard as me for my health to just maintain at 50 and hold back that type 2 diabetes.
I always get a kick out of it when you watch like the main shows nowadays, and a lot of times some of the refs look like they're in better shape than the wrestlers, and I'm like, okay, that's not, somebody did not really plan how this is going to look in the ring, because oh boy,
yeah, that ref's jacked. Can we
right?
Can we look
like,
at
what's
him
he doing in
wrestle?
that striped shirt?
Charles Robinson, man, the most cardio in any professional wrestling organization ever.
Oh man, yeah, that guy running down. So many moments in the Monday Night War of Charles Robinson.
So,
and the best part is they give him every chance that there is to recreate him running down the damn ramp. They're going to give him the chance to go running down that ramp.
Well, I mean, that's entertainment. If it works, let's milk it, baby.
Yep.
When he got checked by John Cena on his rundown, that was classic.
He
went flying.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that was just awesome. It reminded me of that one with Keith Lee in NXT, the scene where he pushed, I think it was Adam Cole up into the crowd. Adam Cole's running. Here comes Keith Lee.
We had a spot like that. We had this really small wrestler, Frankie, and he had to reverse another referee's decision. He got knocked out by Manny Roa, the champion, and so when he came to, he reversed the replacement referee's decision and disqualified Manny, which meant the belt got taken from Bad News Blakesley, who's 6'4", 500 pounds. So he picks the referee bodily up over his head and throws him into a crowd of wrestlers after splashing him not once, not twice, 3 times. He just splattered this poor kid.
Oh no.
Never worked again. I think he died.
So, Doc, let me ask you, as far as your fitness, where did you start in DDPY? What kind of workouts were you doing at the beginning compared to where you're at now?
So I started off on the intermediate track. Like I did the I picked the beginner track first, and I went through those workouts like a couple days, and I was like, okay, I'm a little beyond this, so let me push it up a notch so I can get the workouts that I need. So I went on the intermediate track and did that whole 13-week program, and was just like I felt amazing. uh and it was like very shortly after that I went down to Mexico and got to work out with Dallas, and he told us that the first iteration of the power cuffs were coming out, the jack straps. They were going to be out soon. And so as soon as those came out, I started doing the jacked workouts with the jack straps quite a bit. And then they evolved to the power cuffs, and so now what I'm doing is I do the power cuffs program pretty religiously. It's 6 weeks, and uh, Mondays you work bis and tris with the power cuffs. Tuesday is a cardio day, and it's going to switch out. It might focus a certain part of the body, like the core or the legs. It might just be a total body workout. Wednesdays will be chest and back with the power cuffs. Thursday's another cardio total body workout or targeted workout, depending. And then Friday, shoulders and legs with the power cuffs. And so that's my program. And then add into that, I've had Sin on the beginner program, the beginner plus program. So I was incorporating all those workouts from the app with him while I'm kind of going through the DDPY certification program and learning the steps that go into that. So now he's kind of on a custom program that I've had him working on, which is we do what's called breakfast burn on Mondays. It's just a real 30-minute intense cardio workout to just get the week going. Tuesday he'll do whatever targeted kind of body workout we need that day. So might be a core leg day. Then Wednesdays he's doing synergy, which is energy and fat burner combined. So it's a nice 40-minute workout. We tried to send 40 last week, which is the step up from that. That kicked his ass. It kicked my ass. Everyone's ass was kicked, and we were like, let's not do that for at least another month. And then Thursdays we do another targeted workout, and Friday's Diamond Cutter 2.0, which is a real intense workout. A few sets of 10-second push-ups, which used to be the benchmark for me. Was, can I get through a Diamond Cutter workout without modifying on those 10-second push-ups? And it took me a long time to get there. And even now, there's some days where I didn't eat my Wheaties the day before, and I'm trying on those, and I give out. My arms give out, and I have to go down to my knees. But that's been a good workout for Sin, getting him strengthened up, losing weight, and getting stronger. Like I said, he went down from 430. He's close to 350 now. He was dealing with sciatic issues, wasn't throwing drop kicks, and now he's throwing drop kicks. And he did this kick. he got his foot up in Bad News Blakesley's face last week on Limelight. This is the 6'10" guy, and 6'4" Sin had his foot right up in his face, giving him a front face kick with some serious flexibility that made me pop on commentary. I was like, DDPY works. You better believe it. There's the proof right there, folks. And of course the guys who do commentary with me, they're like, oh my God, you are such a shill. It's like, hey man, it worked. I don't get paid for it. I've seen it in my own life and I believe it. So I definitely put it out there.
Have you, speaking of you trying to get your certification for DDPY, have you tried to see if you can make it out to his little performance center that he has out in his neck of the woods, or?
That's one of the goals. One of the things they used to do was a deal called Summit, and that was where the instructors could go and they would have a meet and greet, do workouts, and kind of network and do information, and you get to hang out with DDP some more. But now they've kind of replaced that with Transformation University. And what that is it's almost like having an impersonal trainer almost, where they're going to give you a lot of a workbook and a lot of information to kind of get you through these programs, along with videos like, oh, how do you engage better? I have a real hard time engaging my quads and my calves to get my heart rate up in the zone. So they have videos for things like that, and there's some homework. You cut a video about what your why is. You show you working out. You do a little bit of this and that. They've got some hoops you jump through, and at the end of the 6 months program, you get the opportunity to go out there for the graduation and work out with Dallas. You get a trophy smack class ring, and then you get a belt. And that all came out of Dallas used to run a grand champion deal, where whoever had the best transformation that year would win $500,000 and get to go out there and get this photo shoot done and stuff. But Dallas hates picking winners and losers, and so he transformed it into Transformation University, where everyone gets a thing. There's no this guy's better than this guy. Because for a guy like me, most of my transformation was up here. I had a little bit of a physical transformation, but my main transformation was mental, and that's not something you can show in pictures compared to a dude who's lost 500 pounds in a year, and rightly so. That should absolutely be recognized, because that takes incredible discipline. And so for folks like me, it's like, I'm not even going to bother with that stuff, because this guy over here clearly deserves it. I don't even want to take from his shine. So I like this Transformation University because everyone gets a little bit of the shine, and they get the opportunity to go out there and work with Dallas.
Let me ask you, let's expand on that a little bit, because your level is way more advanced than I'm still in the chair. And I started off doing the bed flex, moving into the chair. I probably could have started with the chair force workouts, hindsight being what it is. But the Transformation University, are there different levels? Is it something that they would have a program for me who's not ready to do the standing workouts? It's for all the levels. So there are people who their first year of DDPY was last year, who graduated from DDPY, Transformation University, and there's my buddy George Fenmore, who is this guy is like the Jimmy Olsen to Diamond Dallas Page's Superman. Everything I go to, this guy George is with Dallas. He's like his little buddy. Him and his wife had amazing transformations. He went through the program and got his belt. So it's for every single level. One of Dallas's big things is making it accessible to everybody.
no matter what your level is, and so that way you can make it your own. Which is, if you do the app, he preaches that nonstop. Make it your own. Make it your own.
Yeah, and I was just curious because like I said, I'm nowhere near ready to be standing on my own. I don't even want to look at the standing exercises with the chair. That scares me because I'm a big dude and I have this inherent fear of falling.
Mm-hmm.
So if I fall, I ain't ever getting back up off the ground.
Yeah. No, uh, again, it's something that is there to supplement your current fitness journey and bolster it wherever you are. Like for me, it's absolutely something I could benefit from. I'm really bad at jumping through hoops and like logging stuff down, and it's like, oh, cut a promo on my why. Oh, hold on, let me get to that after I cut a promo on the owner of our wrestling company and our current champion and this guy and that guy. Uh, so it's probably something I will do after I get my certification program
Okay.
completed. Uh, just just to have and one of the things we were talking about in our instructor chat was it would be good for as many instructors to have the transformation university graduate as possible and to go out there to the graduation because it's just always good to have instructors out there.
And part
And
of me
it's funny you mentioned the why video because the very first thing Chris and I did before we actually launched the podcast, we did why videos of why we wanted to go on this journey.
And I need to go back and rewatch mine. I've been told that for the last month and just haven't. I have anything I say is going to be an excuse as to why I haven't. So I'm not going to give a reason. I just haven't done it.
Excuse, like I said, excuses are easy, and we can always come up with them. Uh, but the day that you push the excuse aside, that's a big victory day, and it's like, hey, I I I have excuses for all the stuff. I really need to get to work more on my certification program stuff. I've been pushing it off because I have this, I have that. Um, it, it's it's part of the human condition um, to and I sit here and I wonder, why do we do that? Why do we put off stuff that we know is good for us? Why do we let this thing friggin' this would be so easy for me to handle and get taken care of, but I'm just gonna let it sit here and fester and sit. And gosh, I think about, oh gosh, I have a laundry list of those things.
So, Doc, we've been kind of mixing everything together. I know we've talked a little wrestling, we've talked a little fitness. I got to ask you, where did the diamond standard of commentary come from? How did you earn that moniker?
Well, yeah, it was a commentary tournament down in Brazil, and I came away with the diamond standard belt. Got stolen from me by an anaconda. No, so the diamond standard, I was really trying when I got into PCW and took over production of Limelight. I kind of got thrown into the commentary position because I had agreed to edit the show because the first show was terrible. Uh, they put out this 3 hour long monstrosity with only one camera angle and only one commentator, and it was like my first couple weeks in PCW, and they asked me what I thought of it, and I was like, they were so excited. Oh, it's our new show, PCW Limelight, episode 1. What do you think, Doc? And I sat through the 3 hours, and I was like, God, that was terrible. And they said, well, can you do better? And I said, yeah, I can, because I actually went to school for graphic design and took some video production classes. So let's do it, baby. But then I had the show edited and we didn't have any commentary. And I asked our promoter, who's doing commentary? And he said, you are. And so I'm like, all right, I'm game. And Dr. Heywood literally came together on a car ride to Yuba City. I grabbed the douchiest outfit I could find, um, and just thought back to my favorite commentators, Jesse the Body, and Bobby the Brain, you know, the way Jesse always had an explanation for what the heels were doing, and Bobby's just absolute loathing of Hulk Hogan and the fans.
one of
Um,
my favorite Bobby lines, and I agree. So when people ask me Mount Rushmore commentators, because I'm a commentator too, I always go Gorilla, Bobby. I would even put Vince McMahon on there because Vince was a damn good commentator, whether people want to admit that or not. I would throw JR on there too because it's hard not to throw JR, and easily mix in a Jesse of the Body in and out with anybody. But when Hogan did the heel turn and Hogan comes down, and Bobby was the first one to point out, but whose side is he on? And then you hear, I think it's Tenay or Shivani go, "What are you talking about?" And then all of a sudden, boom, and I'm like, that's one of my favorite Heenan lines. Well, whose side is he on?
yeah. I mean, and Bobby was just being Bobby, and so there was that. I wanted to take in a little bit of the Professor Mike Tenay. I couldn't call myself the Brain, so Dr. Heywood, and then well, how do I incorporate my love for DDPY and all this other, become a little more flashier in my presentation? Oh, well, there's the gold standard. No, that's Shelton Benjamin. What's better than gold? Diamonds. Ah, diamonds. Diamond standard of commentary. And so that's kind of how that came about. Um, and really, my training kind of came from outside pro wrestling. I did nearly 20 years in high school and junior high youth ministry with the Catholic Church, working with teenagers, and regularly would just have to cut 10, 15-minute promo selling kids on Jesus in the church and stuff not popular to teenagers, like, hey, don't drink and don't have premarital sex, and make it entertaining and appealing. That's not an easy job. So walking into commentary and saying what these guys are doing in the ring and why I hate that particular one, that was easy. So, there wasn't a big learning curve for me coming in. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to come in as this wild egomaniac, and I'm going to be the diamond standard of commentary. I'm making this damn show. I'm spending 10 hours a week editing it. I'm animating lower thirds. I'm making music for these guys. I'm running the website. I'm doing the Eventbrite for online ticket sales. I'm doing this. Yeah, I'm the diamond standard of commentary. Who's gonna say different?
And of course, Limelight is on YouTube. I've seen a couple of episodes. Tell everybody who doesn't know where it is, where we can find.
Yeah, we are on YouTube at PCW Pro Wrestling, and PCW Limelight is every Saturday at noon. There's very rare occasions where we might take a week or two hiatus, but I'm pretty regular about giving you an hour of pro wrestling action every week and some behind the scenes drama. Um, we like to give you some vignettes, some long-term storytelling. In fact, the ending of last week's episode of Limelight harkens back to that first episode of Limelight, where I'm kind of fulfilling one of our passed on talents, the late great Bradley Rotten. I'm kind of fulfilling his legacy. This guy has been saying that the owner and promoter of the company for 26 years, Zach Reeb, is a backstabbing piece of trash who's just been sucking all the talent in NorCal into this black hole that is his ego. And Brad has finally been proved right, and I've kind of vindicated his legacy. And I'm talking to some of his boys, some of the guys who are in his stable, and we might be causing some problems for the owner of the company. A few weeks ago, I hijacked the show because the owner Zach Reeb he tried to pull the boss card on me. And when you own the cameras, when you, when you own the YouTube password and the website and all this other stuff, can anyone really pull the boss card on you? So that's a fun episode. Check that one out. It's got the title card. It says "Who's the boss" on it. We've got Tony Danza on there. You can't miss it.
And of course, you say noon on Saturdays. That's on the West Coast, right? Pacific.
Yeah,
time.
noon Pacific time. So it would be
2 o'clock our time.
Yeah, 2 o'clock your time.
Eastern. I'm surprised you didn't go with the 6:05 Eastern.
So the time I decided it was a nostalgic time for me.
Okay.
Because I remember Saturdays watching cartoons, USA Cartoon Express, or watching cartoons on another channel, and then boom, WWF Superstars or some other WWF wrestling show was on. So Saturday afternoons for me as a little kid, I plumped my butt right down because what else was I gonna watch? There was Wide World of Sports or Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom or Hulk Hogan kicking the crap out of Roddy Piper. I'm gonna watch that.
That's a tough decision there.
So one of the things for me is Saturdays are for pro wrestling, like the whole day. In the afternoon, watch Saturday pro wrestling. You can watch WWE, you can watch PCW, and at night, if you've got a local show, go support your local show. Or if your local show's 2 hours away, go 2 hours away. Like if you have pro wrestling in your area, you are friggin' blessed, man. For the longest time, there was nothing up here in NorCal. We're pretty rural. When people think California, they think LA and Sacramento. They don't think about the 4-hour drive of farmland between San Francisco and the Oregon border, and a couple college towns up there. And I'm in a college town of about 200,000 people. The neighboring town, Matthew McConaughey was just in the movie about it. When it burned down in 2018, the last bus, that was Paradise. We have talent from that town who survived that fire, and so really underserved. Like back in the 80s, WWF came to our area one time, and I was all excited to go to the show. And I got grounded.
Oh no!
Yeah, I mean, heal yesterday, today, forever, I guess. But I got grounded, and the thing that cheesed me off was it was Undertaker was there back early in his career. This is like, I want to say 89, 90. Ultimate Warrior was there, and the Undertaker broke kayfabe and hit on my sister. and she turned him down. And when my brother came back and and told me that. First I thought he was BSing me. I was like, "No, come on, Undertaker wasn't hitting on my sister." And he's like, "No, dude, he was." And then I was mad because I was like, "Come on, you could have got us WrestleMania tickets if you just went on a couple dates with the Undertaker. What's wrong with you? So selfish."
Take one for the team, damn it.
Yeah, and the funny thing is still a little bit of doubt in me about whether my brother was BSing me about that. Well, when our mom passed away, we got together, and I had just gotten into PCW, and we were talking about me being in wrestling, and my sister says, "Oh yeah, you missed out on that WWF show at the fair where that one guy hit on me." And I was like, "Oh my God, it's true. Undertaker hit on you." Ah. And then I was even more mad because all those WrestleMania tickets missed out on.
Right?
She could have been the Undertaker's wife that Diamond Dallas Page stalked and could have ruined his career.
And I want to go back to something you said because it really struck home with me. Saturdays are for wrestling. I
Yes.
truly agree with that. You know, if there's a show, even if it's 2 hours from here, 3 may be a little bit of a stretch for me. But Zach and Zach, you'll probably agree. We're pretty blessed here in the Iowa, Illinois area because there are so many promotions running for me right on the Illinois border within an hour or two that I can go to. Or if I wanted to make the trip to Chicago, there's 3 or 4 up there that are really, really good. But it's such a hotbed here that, yeah, if you're into pro wrestling and you're not going to an indie show and you live in this area like Zach and I do, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
The only thing I hate is when there's so many of them that run on the same damn day.
Yeah, we need to tell Bayless and Prentice to stop this.
We do
Stop
run into
running the
that.
same day, boys.
We run into that a little bit because we're Yuba City, where we have a few of our shows, is about a half hour from Sacramento. I'm about an hour and a half from Sacramento, and so Sacramento has several promotions. They have, and so sometimes we cannibalize talents with each other, and it gets to be a real pain if when guys get double booked. We have a few who are like, "Hey man, if you put me on first, I can wrestle and I'll make it down to these guys." But yeah, it's like, "Hey, did you not look at our schedule? Like, plan your stuff around me because I'm way more important. I know my show's better than yours. You don't even have TV, so come on now."
No, and it's not a problem that I dislike having. It's a good problem to have.
Yep. I mean, there's times especially over the summer months, that you can see a different show every weekend in Iowa.
Yes.
I mean, I'm pretty sure this past year, from May to probably August, there was a different show running every single weekend.
Well, my goal is to get PCW to where, because we're the only wrestling promotion north of Sacramento in California. So my goal is to have us working every weekend, doing a show, working it like it was the old territory days. We hit this town, this town, this town, this town, and come back around. We got very close to it last month. It's almost killed me. October, we ran a show every weekend but one. And it was it was pretty wild. It was pretty wild. We got a lot of content for the YouTube channel. The boys got a lot of practice, but I was like, do I really want to run a show every weekend now?
I gotta ask you, especially because you see it from the promoter side of things too, even though you're not directly the promoter. What are some of the difficult things you guys are finding, especially like I guess this year? Because I feel like it was a good year this year from the promotions that we worked with, but there was also times where we felt like, okay, what we were doing wasn't necessarily working, just because no matter how hard you try to get the word mouth out, you can do posters, you can do social media, and it's like for one of our biggest events, we were doing social media posts every single day for, and there were still some people that were coming to that show that we'd find out, oh, I didn't find out about the show until just last week, and we're like, what the hell are we doing, different here? Like, yeah, and it's just, and I think it's been an interesting time economy wise. I think people are really picking and choosing events that they're going to.
Yeah, I mean, I also feel that COVID kind of really messed up going out to do stuff.
Yeah.
People got used to sitting at home, and so going out to the movies, going out to a wrestling show, going out to even dinner now. You got DoorDash. Why do we even got to go out to dinner? So it's almost an act of defiance to go out and I've seen it at live comedy shows. I've seen it at live music events. It's unless you are huge and everyone knows about you, it is difficult to draw.
Mhm.
And it's not something I've been able to solve yet. I mean, one of the things I was trying to do, and I think it's helped us to a degree, but just having that weekly YouTube show to help draw people in. So, oh, this is something I can follow. I can follow your guys' storyline now. So if I buy tickets to a show and I don't know what PCW is, I can real quick go to their website, see all the guys, look at an episode and figure out real quick who the good guys are, who the bad guys are, who I hate, who I like, and go and be ready to cheer and boo.
So on that note, one thing that Zach and I, and even my co-host on Card Subject to Change, Nick and I have talked about is how underutilized the value of social media is to any wrestler. Are you
Mhm.
encouraging the boys to promote themselves on socials, like cut promos and things like that?
Yeah, and one of the things, but it's like cut promos, but make sure it's a quality promo. Don't film it in your car. if you want it just for social media, by all means, vertical. But if you want it to appear on the show, make video horizontal again, please.
Yep.
So it's definitely a struggle to get guys
Yeah. Yep.
to do what they're supposed to do as pro wrestlers. Go to the gym, go find sponsorships, go try and sell tickets, go promote yourself, do promos, come to training. It's like eh, it's like, guys, I'm 50 years old. I'm already made. I'm basically retired, so I'm not waiting for Hunter or Tony Khan to call me to get me out of a life of squalor. Like if they want to call me up, hey, you could use the help, Tony. You could use the help, Hunter, because I'm not a huge fan of your commentary teams. Wade Barrett's growing on me. I'll give him that because I miss a good heel commentator. But that's not my dream. My dream is to make pro wrestling in NorCal better, to make it a mecca for people who want to become pro wrestlers and go, hey, this is a place where I can get trained well in the fundamentals, in the small stuff. I can get trained for TV. I can get trained for promos. I want to go and I want to be in NorCal. That's my dream.
That's the social media aspect is definitely something we dealt with this year with the company that I do a lot of work for, Central Empire Wrestling. Not only am I a commentator there, I'm also the social media guy there. And that's one thing that we've been talking about a lot too, is like trying to get these guys even just so much as a simple share. Like just if you share the post, I mean, you're gonna have a great reach. And believe me, and I don't feel like a lot of wrestlers understand this or really get this. Promoters know who's promoting, who isn't.
Yeah.
Yep. And I will tell you, the PCW locker room could tell you the tirades and the promos Dr. Heywood has cut on people who don't even friggin' comment or hit the like button on our own pro wrestling show. It's like, what am I even doing this for? I'm putting in 10 hours to promote you, so maybe WWE will call you, or even just some other promoter will call you and give you a job, but you don't even have the dang common courtesy to share, like, and hit a little comment that says, great episode, Doc, or F you, Doc, you suck. I don't care which.
Well, Doc, I'm looking at the time here. This hour, I'm going to say, just went by super fast. I can't believe we're almost at a full hour now, and I feel like we could go on for 5 more talking with you.
Definitely.
So we'll definitely need to bring you back at some point. But before we take you off the hook, where can people? I know you mentioned where to find Limelight. Where can people find you if they want to follow you on socials?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook. Just look for Doc Heywood. I'm also on Instagram, Dr.Heywood. You can just search Dr. Heywood Pro Wrestling or Dr. Heywood PCW, and my stuff will pop up on Google. You might even find yourself in the Heywood Underground. That's my little secret website off of PCWNorcal.com. Zach Reeb doesn't know about it. Don't tell him.
No, your secret is safe with us, but we definitely want to thank you for coming on. This has been a lot of fun, hearing about your fitness journey, hearing about your wrestling journey, and look forward to getting to sit down and chat with you again.
Yeah, for sure. This was a blast. A great honor to be on here.
And before we completely wrap up, I do again want to thank the For Frequency's Sake Podcast Network for hosting us, sponsored by Durham Remodeling. Thank you, gentlemen, for letting us do this show. Zach, any final thoughts from you, my friend?
No, there should be another episode of Shotgun Wrestling Radio here dropping on Friday, so tune in for that. Otherwise, yeah, man, it's been a fun 2025 for Wrestling with Fitness, so hopefully everybody will be around in 2026 with us, and I think we're going to try and have a highlight video probably for next month's episode is what we'll have.
Absolutely. And we have some good guests lined up for 2026 already.
Yes,
I think I'm booked out until March at this point. I've got someone that I haven't told you about yet, Zach.
Ooh, nice. Excellent.
But no, thanks again for Dr. Heywood joining us. For my co-host, Zach Takis of Shotgun Wrestling Radio, I am the Wizard CZ. You can catch me every Sunday on Cards Subject to Change, as well as right here every month, except for next month because we're taking the holidays off, on Wrestling with Fitness. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
This has been a For Frequency's Sake Podcast Network production. For more great content, subscribe to For Frequency's Sake on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.